Welcome back. After a two-day hiatus, the Harwich Mariners return home to host the Wareham Gatemen for the first time this season. Devin Dobeck joined by Carson Trail with Dave Roberts alongside on the production end of things. Thank you for joining us here on a beautiful Tuesday night here in Harwich, Massachusetts. 77 degrees, mostly sunny, but nonetheless a beautiful day for baseball. Well, it's been a couple of days off for the Mariners. Well, not necessarily yesterday, because they had Fenway Day, of course, where the guys got to do their workouts and hitting and fielding in front of some of the premier scouts in the country. And then the day before, a rainout in a game that was supposed to be a Veterans Field in Chatham. But they returned back today. Last game was a 5-1 victory against the Orleans Firebirds. Macon Winslow able to hit his first home run of the season. And the Mariners 6-1. When they're able to tally a home run in a ball game. Carson, a great win, and the Mariners now have improved to 8-5, second in the East all alone. They got a 3-game lead over the Brewster Whitecaps and the Chatham Anglers, who are both tied for third place, but 4 points behind the YD Red Sox. So the equivalent of 2 games, but a 2-game win streak coming in tonight, and got to feel good after that Orleans game.
Yeah, the game against Orleans, a quintessential team win. Griffin Kern quelled some early danger. Orleans actually knocked him around a little bit, but he limited damage. And then, of course, Michael Anderson, another excellent day. Walked 3 times, officially 1 for 2, but he drove in a run with a double. He just committed to Arkansas, so he's having himself a fantastic week. Knocked a couple onto Lance Downstreet at Fenway Day, so he's somebody to watch out for. And the Mariners trying to gather some momentum heading into the 4th of July. Back-to-back games at Brewster, or against Brewster coming up. And hoping to take care of some more business against the Gatemen, who started out so hot in the West Division, but they've come down to earth. They've lost back-to-back games, and I think that the kind of baseball they're playing right now is something that we're going to see a lot of going forward.
Mariners did play them last week, June the 26th, out at Spillane Field, a game in which they probably would like to forget. Lost that one 7-3. They made 3 errors, just had 5 hits, and the pitching was very subpar. Jack Bowery gave up 8 hits through his 3 innings, but you get a new birth tonight in a guy who has seemingly taken on the role of being an ace, and that's Ryan DeSanto. Headed to Penn State next season, but he's been fantastic for the Mariners all season long. We'll get more into his numbers once he takes the hill to throw his pregame pitches, but a lot to look forward to here. A chance at vengeance with the Wareham Gatemen. They currently sit tied for first in the West with 18 points, along with the Cotuit Kettleers. They just lost to Cotuit, a tough one when you think about standings implications, but they got a chance now against a team they handled pretty well, of course. Bobby Bozer was a force to reckon with in that ball game.
And I think also it's important to talk about how the Mariners are back on their home confines. Wareham's not an easy place to play, and here at White House, I think an opportunity to get more in their comfort zone and establish that they are comfortable playing in this ballpark early. They're back over 500 at home, 4-3, and that first inning we're going to see a lot of how this game could shape up. You mentioned Bobby Bozer. He's batting second today. Brendan Summerhill, the fantastic outfielder from University of Arizona, is leading off. And I think that 2 through 5, 2 through 6 part of the order for the Gatemen, that's the part of the order that you have to keep quiet.
Keeping an eye on the Mariners side of things, Luke Heyman out of Florida will be playing in tonight's game. He's coming off a game in which he went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, but we know that's nothing of the player he is. He was fantastic this past season in SEC play, and a very vocal presence on defense. You lose your captain, so to speak. Brian Arnn, a 3-year Mariner, a guy who knows the ropes, who's been here forever, and you acquire a guy like Luke Heyman to pair with Macon Winslow. And Luke, a guy who's always yelling behind the plate, always knows the situation, makes sure everybody's on the same page, and he's a huge piece of this Mariner team going forward.
And even when his bat is not going, we've seen how well he communicates on defense and how much of a positive presence he is on the rest of the team. As we'll pause now for the national anthem.
Pre-game ahead of Gatemen and the Mariners, Skylar Wilkes alongside the newest Arkansas Razorback, Michael Anderson. Michael, congratulations, and what was it that drew you to Fayetteville?
Honestly, so the coach came up here and I just fell in love with it, honestly. Like, we just bonded as soon as I met him. Great guy, and I mean, I wanted to play in the SEC, and I got what I wanted. So, I mean, I really couldn't ask for anything better.
Big jump from the A-10 to the SEC. What do you think makes you ready for that big leap? to a scorching start so far out here on the Cape, one of the league leaders in batting average, league leader in home runs. What has allowed you to get off to such a great start, and how do you think you can carry it into your career with the Razorbacks?
So, I mean, just hard work and dedication, like just coming up to the field ready to play every single day. I mean, preparation is a huge thing, but also like my teammates, they're great people, always cheering me on through the thick and thin. So, I mean, them getting on base, them just having quality at bats sets me up for success. So, couldn't do it without them.
Michael Anderson setting himself up for success so far in the Cape, and a big honor. Congratulations, Michael, going from Rhode Island all the way to Arkansas. Gatemen and Mariners about to get underway in a bit, where Michael is in the lineup again for the 12th time this season. We'll see you then.
Cueto, the catcher. Well, we mentioned Ryan DeSanto a little bit before the game, but let's take a quick look at some of his numbers this season for the Mariners. He's made 2 appearances, one of them in which he went 4 1/3, the other one 5 2/3. Has a record of 1-0 coming in tonight, a .90 earned run average through 10 innings. That means just 1 earned run. Both those games were starts. 5 strikeouts, has not walked a guy while surrendering 7 hits. His whip, a .70, is the lowest on the Mariner Ball Club. He is a guy who can really carry a lot of the weight. Not a huge strikeout guy, pitches to contact, but always finds ways to get out. And he's a guy who we're really looking forward to seeing making his 3rd start.
Efficiency and effectiveness go hand in hand for him. He's got stuff where he can get ground balls, and he's aggressive in the zone. He has not walked anybody in the 10 innings he's pitched this year, and that's going to be crucial. Keeping the ball in the zone but off the barrel.
Well, we took you through the Wareham lineup already, so the leadoff hitter, Brendan Summerhill, set to start things off out of Arizona, a sophomore there, 6'3", 195 pounds, native of Chicago, Illinois, where he went to Whitney Young High School. This past season with the Wildcats, hit .324 through 58 games, started each and every one of those, 77 hits for him. And he's a guy who's very difficult out to get at the top of this order. Lefty on lefty matchup as DeSanto rocks and fires. First pitch is popped up, foul territory and out of play. We're underway here at 6:29 p.m. Game 14 of the Young Cape Cod Baseball League season. We are officially 33% of the way through this quick and ever-changing and dynamic season. DeSanto out of the stretch, never a wind-up guy, comes set ahead 0-1, showing bunt. He gets it down, but right back to DeSanto. DeSanto gathers and fires the throw just barely in time. DeSanto was a little nonchalant, pats his chest as he looks at Luke Heyman, knowing that he probably got a little lucky there, but nonetheless, there's one away.
Yeah, Summerhill is a guy who moves quickly up the line despite his size, so nice job on the recovery, making it an accurate throw. If that throws anywhere offline, that's an infield hit.
Gives way to Bobby Bozer, and he was at third base in the last game against the Mariners out at Splain Field. Held down the hot corner well tonight. He'll be at second base for the Gatemen. Also was able to homer against the Mariners back on June the 26th. A bomb in a game which Wareham seemingly had just about from start to finish. 1-0 count now as DeSanto looking to even up the count. The pitch. That one finds its way right down the middle, and we're at 1-1. Mariners in their home cream uniforms. Says Mariners across the chest in navy blue. Navy blue numbers on the front and back, all trimmed in red with the cream pants and navy hats with the Mariner logo featured right in the middle of it with red brims and navy socks. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Bozer swings and might have got a piece of it, but nonetheless it's 1-2. Wareham in their road red uniform, says Wareham across the chest in black, all trimmed in white with gray pants, also black numbers trimmed in white. 1-2, fought off over the first base side dugout, and we'll do it again.
Bozer always a guy who gets his best swing off. Looked a little bit off balance there, but that's what Ryan DeSanto will do when he's at his best. Make guys swing flat-footed.
1-2, just below the zone. And count shifts to 2-2. Bozer, a 6'1", 209-pound junior. This past season hit .299 through 34 games, made 30 starts. The year before, though, hit .323 through 55 games. Injury bug caught up to him there, as count is now loaded full at 3-2.
All of a sudden, DeSanto in danger of walking the first man of the year.
Payoff pitch set to come home. Here it is. This one's cracked but foul over towards the third base side. And we'll do it again. Bozer, an all-star last season for the Gatemen, played for them last season, of course, at .219, but had a league-leading 31 walks, so no surprise to see this count loaded full early on. Tough customer, protects the plate well, and finds ways to go deep into at-bats, which makes him so valuable in the top of the order. 3-2, flared. Out in the center field, coming in is Carter, and he'll put it away for out number 2. Bit of a swing off the end of the bat, and with that, we'll meet the the Harwich Mariners defense. Out in the outfield from left to right is Tommy Barth, Bristol Carter, and Matt Scannell. Third to first in the infield, Ryan Black, Ryan Weingartner, Cade Kurland, Michael Anderson, with Luke Heyman completing the battery for Ryan DeSanto. Max Williams turned the right fielder for the Gatemen. First pitch to him on the outside corner for a strike, 89 miles per hour. DeSanto, not a guy who's going to blow you away with his velocity, but his placement and control is something that has paid dividends for him here on the Cape. As we mentioned, just 5 strikeouts through those 10 innings, as this one's lifted out into the gap in right field. Going back is Scannell, and this one will one-hop up and over the wall. And they're going to say, no, got out on its own. Bounced right over the wall, so it's a home run. Max Williams checks in with a dinger here. DeSanto wants that pitch back. It was grooved right down the plate. And so it's 1-0 Gatemen.
Yeah, that one was hard to tell. The chain link fence kind of creates an optical illusion. Hard to tell which side the ball bounced on, but no protest from Matt Scannell. So a solo shot, 1-0 Wareham.
Also got the shade and the light dynamic. The cleanup hitter Murph Gray will dig in now. He watches strike 1 on the outside corner to make it 0-1. So the Gatemen strike first here. Tonight's umpiring crew, Jeff Merzell is calling the balls and strikes, with Jim Fonseca down at first and Matthew Newman over at third. 0-1, a breaking ball on the outer part of the plate to make it 0-2. That's just the second earned run that Ryan DeSanto has given up here this season through now 10 2/3 innings. Going to get a mistake every now and then, but we'll see if that will phase him. 0-2, tried to speed it up a little bit, brought it to 92, but it's fought off foul, and we'll do it again.
Good job of getting ahead from DeSanto. Gave up the solo home run and now immediately ahead of the next guy, 0-2.
0-2 pitch. Grounded softly over to Weingartner at short. He gathers and fires. Throw a little high, but Anderson, a pretty big body, the newest Razorback over at first base, reels it in, and that's the inning. But not before Max Williams leaves the yard and gives the Gatemen a 1-0 lead. When we come back, we'll meet the Wareham Gatemen starting 9. 1-0. Wareham on top. We'll be right back here on Cape League TV.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Welcome back. Let's take a quick look at the Harwich Mariners starting batting order. Leading off is the shortstop, Ryan Weingartner. Batting second in center is Bristol Carter. The third hitter, designated hitter, Henry Godbout. In the cleanup spot, the first baseman, Michael Anderson. Batting fifth, the catcher, Luke Heyman. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Cade Curlin. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Ryan Black. Batting eighth, in left, is Tommy Barth. And rounding out the top nine is Matt Scannell in right field. Already ahead in the count, 1-0 is Weingartner. And it's evened up at 1-1 as he watches a pitch go by. Weingartner, a guy so valuable to have in this Harwich Mariner lineup, has contributed so much for them on both sides of the ball. Adds to that great defense he gets up the middle infield. 2 balls, 1 strike as the pitch runs in. Weingartner, birthday coming up, July the 5th. He will be turning, let's see here, he'll be turning 20 years old. So a pretty exciting day for one of the newest Penn State Nittany Lions. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Weingartner standing in the right-hand side. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Pops it up. Hit well, though, over towards left field. Ranging over is Reinhardt. He's under it. Slides and kind of mistimed it. So the ball lands, and Weingartner will be given another life. Probably a tip of the cap out to Jace Reinhardt, as that one probably should have been caught for an out, but instead he'll dig back in.
Yeah, it looked like he mistimed his slide, and I think the ball glanced off his knee as it was coming down. Quick to get up, though, walking a bit gingerly back toward his position. But that one just unfamiliar confines, playing at White House Field for the first time.
2 balls and 2 strikes now. Ground ball, third base side, but foul over towards Mark Tebow down at third base. He'll be down at third base with Kyle Sylvester, the first base coach for the Mariners. Darren Horn trying to win this battle against Weingartner after giving him an extra life. 2-2, misses down low. And so it'll be 3 balls and 2 strikes now. But Darren Horn, 6'4", 190 out of Columbus, Georgia. Coastal Carolina, Chanticleer, the payoff. Swing and a miss. Down goes Weingartner. And finally able to prevail is Horn. There's one down here in the home half.
Yeah, nice long at bat for Weingartner. That's kind of the summer that he's had. Even when he's set down on strikes, he tends to work 5-6 pitches in the count. Able to last a little bit longer, and now Bristol Carter might have a better idea of what he's seeing.
First pitch now to Bristol Carter's, cut on and missed. Make it 0-1. Carter's speed and ability to make plays in the outfield has been huge to have him back in the lineup after a brief illness that sidelined him for 5 games. 0-1. Breaking ball finds its way over the heart of the plate, and it's 0-2. Darren Horn this past season did not pitch for the Chanticleers. 0-2. Blows him away. Back-to-back strikeouts start things here for Horn. He looks pretty good after not pitching this past season. And it's 2 away for Henry Godbout.
Great breaking stuff early from Horn. 2-plane movement from that high 3/4 release point. Bristol Carter looks uncharacteristically off balance.
First pitch to Godbout misses outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Godbout hitting .273 on the young season for the Mariners. He's participated in 3 games. Has also scored 3 times. Still without a walk, and he's punched out once. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Virginia Cavalier now. Stole 15 bases at the college level, and he's only been caught twice. So a speed threat if he can get on and start a 2-out rally, maybe get in scoring position for Anderson. Uncomfortable and unsure swing that time from Godbout. Has tried to hold it back but couldn't, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Godbout made his debut at Wareham just this past week.
1-2. Lifted high and deep out to left field. Going back is Reinhardt, and he will haul it in right in front of the warning track for out number 3. Well, the Mariners go down in order. And we'll take a quick break, come back for the second frame here on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Top of the second inning, it'll be 5-6-7 due out for the Gatemen, Reinhardt, Turner, and Jimenez. Jace Reinhardt, talk about a force to be reckoned with, out of USC Upstate this past season, hit .366. He's hit over 300 in each of his 3 seasons there. Before that, it was .310, and prior to that, .333. So a guy who swings a hot stick, and that's landed him from a small school up here in the Cape. He's behind 0-1 to DeSanto. DeSanto, a pretty smooth inning in the first other than the long ball, but found a way to get ahead in counts and pitch to his advantage. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Reinhardt. Reinhardt also has the school record for doubles, which he set this past spring, appeared in 60 games, and was able to knock around 22 doubles. Fouls off the next pitch to make it 1-2. Waving the bat around. DeSanto leans in, gets the sign, and comes set. And the pitch. Misses up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Still refining the command of his changeup. Missed a couple of times this at bat with it.
Reinhardt's been here more than just about anyone else other than Murph Gray for the Gatemen. Has 42 at-bats, second on the team. 2-2, misses down low, and count has worked full once again.
Again, missing with the changeup. DeSanto is really going to have to find some way to develop his feel again.
Tied for the team lead with 13 hits, along with Murph Gray again. Here's the payoff pitch. That one misses down low, and that will be the first walk issued by Ryan DeSanto this summer. It's a free leadoff ticket for Jace Reinhardt, and it'll be Colby Turner's turn to see if he can move him around.
Let's see how DeSanto digs deep in this at-bat. Still facing a batter of the opposite hand. 1 pitch away if he gets a ground ball, but unless he gets that combo working again, might have a difficult task ahead of him.
First pitch to Turner. Cranked high and deep out to left field. Going back is Barth, and he hauls it in right in front of the warning track. That one wasn't hit high enough to leave the yard, but a really nice play made by Barth, and everybody at White House Field can exhale now as it's a loud out number 1.
Yeah, that was a rocket. The wind at one point, which was blowing out toward left field, seems to have died down. So that may have been the difference between a 2-run blast and the second homer surrendered by DeSanto this game.
Antonio Jimenez will dig in. He was a pain for the Mariners in their last game out at Spillane Field. Reached base 3 times, a pair of walks, and a double. Also scored a pair of runs. First pitch misses down low for a ball, 1-0, 81 miles per hour on that pitch. Jimenez, a recent commit to UCF. Be going there to be a Golden Knight. Here's the 1-0. Another one ripped out into the gap in left field, but Barth ranges over and hauls it in. Tell you what, both sides have been hitting the ball pretty hard. I guess just God-bound for the Mariners thus far, but we've seen a lot of oohs and ahs from either dugout thinking that their guys just tagged one. That's the third time that DeSanto has really been stung.
And that's the difference between how the game at Wareham shaped up versus here so far. It's that the rockets that they hit against Jack Bowery early in the game fell or carried out of the yard. So far today for DeSanto, it's just been the solo homer.
First pitch to Putnam is a ball that got really away. It looked like it slipped out of DeSanto's hand. It registered at 65 miles per hour. And a nice job by Heyman to knock it down and avoid the runner and Reinhardt from advancing to second. Putnam, the first baseman for the Gatemen tonight. Favorable matchup for him, righty on lefty. Here's the 1-0 offering. Fought off foul back towards the backstop, and it'll even up the count at 1-1. Putnam, another guy who was able to put together a half-decent game against the Mariners. Reached base 3 times, pair of walks, a single, and a deep fly out to right field. Sitting in the 8th spot, pretty good guy to have for the top of the order coming up after him. 1-1, up and away, 2 balls and a strike. 9-hitter Gio Cueto's on deck for the Gatemen. Should we get there? DeSanto's recorded a pair of loud outs to Tommy Barth out and left after the leadoff walk. He'll check the runner this time back into first safely is Reinhardt. Reinhardt, a guy who you don't have to worry too much about stealing. Got just 1 stolen base in 1 attempt. But a big lead, and with 2 outs, anything's possible. Line drive, center field, and it's down right in front of Carter. Around second, and staying there is Jace Reinhardt. Looked like he might have been able to leg it out, but not wanting to play risk with Gio Cueto coming up. So it's 2 on and 2 out for the catcher.
Yeah, Reinhardt going on contact, but still had to measure the arm of Bristol Carter out in center. Keep him charging in on that play, and he would have had all his momentum on his way if he were to make a throw to third.
Cueto, one of the newer Wareham Gatemen. First pitch, a breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. It was a Brewster Whitecap all the way up until June the 27th, where he was cut and signed to the Gatemen on the 28th. Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball, bounce in the dirt. Nice stop by Heyman, who will call time, and counts even up at 1-1. This Wareham dugout, we had the luxury of being able to call our last game right on top of them in the Raptor cage out at Spillane Field. They're a vocal group. They like the gamesmanship. They like to get in the heads of the other team. A lot of chirping and friendly competition you'll hear from them, as we can already, and we're probably 50 yards away from them. Fly ball, sinking away down in right field. Matt Scannell's there, and he puts it away for out number 3. So DeSanto runs into a little bit of turbulence, but is able to escape it. Mariners trailing 1-0, and will return for their second licks on the other side of the break on Cape League TV. The Mariners went down in order back in the bottom half of the first, so it'll be the middle third of the order. Anderson, Heyman, Curlin due up for Harwich. But before we get into that, let's set the Wareham Gatemen defense. Out in the outfield, left to right, is Jace Reinhardt, Brendan Summerhill, and Max Williams. Third to first in the infield, Murph Gray, Antonio Jimenez, Bobby Bozer, and Eli Putnam, with Gio Cueto doing the catching for Darren Horn. Horn looked pretty sharp through his first inning, faced the minimum, struck out a pair, and then a hard fly ball he gave up to Henry Godbout, but no damage done. Now heading into part of the order that's going to be really difficult. 3 SEC guys. Michael Anderson, the newest of the 3, transferring from Rhode Island out to Arkansas. Really excited for Michael. He's definitely earned a spot in the Power 5 after his campaign, both at Rhode Island this past season and in the Cape. And then Luke Heyman and Curlin, of course, a couple Florida Gators set to follow him here in the inning. Anderson hitting just under 400 this season. He's been a huge asset to the Mariners. Top 5 in the league in hits. He's got 16 of those, the leader with just 17. But there's a 3-way tie at that spot, of course. First pitch to the first baseman. In there for a strike. Anderson thought about it, checked his swing, and held up. He's behind in the count 0-1. Horn, another guy working exclusively out of the stretch, and he gets pretty quick through his progressions. So Harwich guys got to be ready to go as soon as they step in the box. 1-1 the count now.
That breaking ball taking advantage of the low strike from Jeffrey Merzel. See how Anderson adjusts.
1-1. On the outside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gateman dugout is loving it. Of course, as we mentioned, a vocal bunch. Every pitch they are in it, voicing their questions, concerns, and thoughts. As down goes Anderson. Pitch in the dirt. He will be tagged out. Went fishing there and came up empty. So already the 3rd punch out for Darren Horn, and there's 1 away here in the 2nd.
Yeah, that at bat went slider, change up. Anderson did not get a single fastball. Obviously, he thought he had one in the bottom of the zone with what ultimately ended up being strike 3. But odds are he'll have adjusted next time he sees him.
First pitch to Luke Heyman. Misses low for a ball, and this is a guy you know has been dying to get back in the batter's box here at White House after that golden sombrero performance in the win against Orleans. 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts and trying to change the script here. 1 ball and 1 strike now to him as he fights it off.
Yeah, he's got the kind of power where 1 swing can change his fortunes. 16 home runs last spring for Florida, including 9 in conference. Launched a couple over the monster as well at Fenway Day.
1-1. Don't get much better than that. Right in there at the knees, and Heyman knew it. So it'll be a ball and 2 strikes. Nice off-speed pitch that time from Horn at 83 miles per hour. Horn comes set, and the righty deals. Swing and a miss. Down goes Luke Heyman. Fooled him low and away, and he is retired. 4 strikeouts through 5 batters faced for Darren Horn. He's been sensational, and all by way of swinging. Cade Curlin's turn now, trying to make some magic start with 2 away. Curlin had a pair of hits in the win against Orleans, his first multi-hit performance. Also clocked a double out in the gap to right center. Heading the count 1-0 after another low and away pitch. Looks like the righty's been living there on the outer part of the plate. Maybe setting up hitters to come inside, especially when they're crowding the plate, similar to what Curlin's doing. High chopper over to the shortstop, Jimenez. Gathers, fires, and it's in time. Another 1-2-3 inning for Darren Horn. 6 up, 6 down to start him, and his Gatemen have him on top 1-0. We'll be right back in a flash here on Cape League TV. Featuring from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS.
Alumni, join us for Alumni Night, Saturday, July 6th. For more information and to RSVP, contact Harwich Athletic ASSOC at gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you all there.
Hey Mariners fans, join us for First Responder Night on July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Cheer on our heroes from Harwich Police, Fire, Coast Guard, Harbor Master, and special guest State Representative Steven Zaros. Make sure to mark your calendars and come show your support for these brave men and women.
Top of the third inning and top of the order for the Gatemen as they flip the lineup card for the first time here tonight. It'll be Summerhill, Bozer, and Williams due up to face Ryan DeSanto. DeSanto's made just a couple mistakes, and only one has really hurt him. That was the long ball given to a guy due up third in the inning here right now. No balls and a strike to Brendan Summerhill, bunted back to Ryan DeSanto to lead off the ball game and was retired. It was a close play at first, and in hindsight, pretty thankful that the Mariners were able to record the out because the home run from Williams would have almost certainly drove him in. It's 1 ball and 1 strike now. And the pitch. Fouled off over towards the grill area. Actually hit the top of the tent there at the grill and funneled right down by a fan's feet. A lot of laughs break out there in the concourse. And it's 1-2. DeSanto wasting no time. The lefty deals. Missed way outside that time. Heyman couldn't even catch up to it all the way out in the right-handed batter's box. Maybe just barely got a piece of the line.
Yeah, more off-speed problems with Ryan DeSanto. His command just has not quite been on point. And he's not a guy that'll overpower you, so it's more important that he finds that feel again to keep guys going.
2-2. Fouled off over towards the Wareham dugout, and will stay there.
Reach back velocity at 92 there, just trying to brute force it with the fastball, it looks like.
Seen a couple pitches get away from him, which is uncharacteristic. Pitch count is closing in on 40 total. This will be the 38th, and it's popped up back towards the merchandise stand, and we'll stay there at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Santo, a long look in, now comes set right in front of his chest, dropping his hands down, kicks and deals. Ground ball off the glove of DeSanto, squirts over to the shortstop. Weingartner on to first, and it won't be in time. It'll be an infield hit for the leadoff man, Summerhill, and the leadoff man is aboard for the second time tonight.
And that's about as good of a play as Weingartner could have made. Off the glove of DeSanto, a pop straight up into the air, and Weingartner coming over from shortstop made a quick throw on the run, just not in time to get the speedy Summerhill.
So 7-pitch at bat goes in the favor of Summerhill. Bobby Bozer's turn. He flew out to center field back in inning number 1. First pitch to Bozer. Instead, they'll go back over to first, check the runner, keep him honest. But Bobby Bozer, a guy with limitless power, great on defense, and a huge part of this Gatemen team over the past 2 seasons, of course. This year and last year, polar opposites when you think about the Gatemen success. Shows bunt, pulls it back this time, and it's 1-0. But last year, the Gatemen, the worst team in the Cape Cod Baseball League by far. It was an ugly year for them, one that they will want to forget. And this year, they're tied for the top of the West early on. I'm sure Bozer's being able to enjoy that a lot more. DeSanto will go check over again at first. Guy not in the lineup for the Mariners today also received some exciting news, and that's Jake Ogden, who was formerly at UNC Greensboro. Huge part of the Mariners' success this season. Heart of the order guy, holds down the hot corner, but he'll be a Miami Hurricane. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Bobby Bozer, but back to Ogden. Really excited for him, as we know he is, and I can almost sense the ghost of Wyatt Kopelman in here, getting all excited. Of course, a Miami alum who was in the booth with me all last season. So congrats to Jake. 1-1, they'll take another look over at first. DeSanto doing everything in his power to hold on Summerhill. He does have some speed. 4 stolen bases for the Wildcat this season in the Cape. He has been caught twice. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Bozer on the back of his heels that time. Wanted all of it, got none of it. And it's 1-2. DeSanto already set to go here. Second, Bozer looked up. He's ready to come home. And the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off. Bozer an aggressive and short swing that time to fend it off. And we'll stay at 1-2.
DeSanto working with a couple of different speeds of fastball. That one reached back velocity at about 90. Before that, just kind of in the mid-80s. So perhaps in 2-strike situations, he's reaching for a little bit extra in the absence of his off-speed pitches. Or he's still trying to get his feel back after struggling with it the first couple of frames.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Bozer. He's the first strikeout victim of Ryan DeSanto here tonight. And there's one away for the 3-hitter, Max Williams.
Number 5, Max Williams.
Changing eye levels well here. DeSanto working north to south at fastball. There's a saying that a fastball up and away is a totally different pitch than one down and in, especially at this level with this velocity.
First pitch to Williams, way ahead of it that time. DeSanto pulled the string 77 miles per hour. It's 0-1. You knew Williams was thinking fences again with that swing. Tucked it right under the scoreboard out in right center field with that first home run. Even caught me by surprise. Wasn't even able to call it correctly. There goes Summerhill. It's popped up in the infield. This could be trouble for the Gatemen as Summerhill sprinting back. Godbout makes the catch, goes on to first, and it's in time. So the hit and run does the worst case scenario for the Wareham Gatemen as they get doubled up and the inning is over. So DeSanto faces the minimum for the first time tonight as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Still 1-0 Wareham on Cape League TV.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Bottom 3rd of the order due up. Ryan Black, Tommy Barth, and Matt Scannell for the Mariners as they trail 1-0, still hitless and still base runnerless. It's been the Darren Horn show early on thus far, spoiling the home crowd's entertainment. As Ryan Black will dig in, holding down the hot corner at third base tonight, with Ogden receiving the off day. First pitch to Black. Misses, blown away, and it's 1-0. Murph Gray is almost on the infield grass over at third base with the rest of the infield pushed back. An interesting shift for Ryan Smith's crew. Swinging strike for Ryan Black, and it'll be 1-1. Shade starting to overtake White House Field. Just little parts of the infield covered with shade. As a liner up the middle, will be a base hit for Ryan Black. First one for the Mariners here tonight.
First lefty to come up against the righty Horn as well. That might be something to look out for. At Scannell, due up third to start this inning. And he's standing on deck with Barth coming up.
Tommy Barth, the East Tennessee State University Buccaneer, shows bunt and couldn't get it down. Tried to get a head start over to first and advance the runner. Black wasn't going anywhere on the pitch, was waiting for contact. Charging in were both corners as well. It's 0-1 now to Tommy Barth. Hitting .300 this season for the Mariners. He's participated in 8 games. 0-1, right down the middle at the knees. And it's 0-2.
Mariners really having a hard time picking up that breaking ball the first time they see it.
Barth's got speed as well. 3 stolen bases on the season. Probably why he tried the drag bunt. As the 0-2's bounced in the dirt. And count moves to 1-2. We've said it before and we'll say it again. Barth, a tough guy to strike out. Had just 12 strikeouts through 182 at-bats this past season at East Tennessee State. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. The announcer's jinx in full effect that time. And it'll be strikeout number 5 for Darren Horn.
First time through the lineup, Horn has had just about everybody off balance. Even Ryan Black, before he put good wood on baseball, he wasn't looking quite like himself either.
Matt Scannell digs in. 1 on, 1 out for the newest Wake Forest Demon Deacon. Ball and no strikes. Scannell had it down to just a few schools and just has heard so much about Wake Forest from former teammates that he's played with here in the Cape and loved the coaching staff, so he's really excited to head out to North Carolina for another campaign with the Demon Deacons. Ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Out playing right field tonight. He's had a slow season for the Mariners after being a guy who was in the top 5 on the Mariners in offense, or RBIs I should say. Pops it up, infield fly rule in effect, and it's put away by Bobby Bozer for out number 2.
Now batting for Harwich, the shortstop from Penn State.
Lineup card flips for the first time on Harwich's end of things. Ryan Weingartner will dig in. He was the guy who made that tremendous play to end the last inning on the pop out, throw him out to catch Summerhill trying to steal an extra base. Pop fly by Williams. Pickoff attempt and back in safely is Black. Probably closer than he would have liked. Might have had his heart skip a beat or two, but he's back in there with the right hand. Weingartner struck out. He was the first of 5 victims for Darren Horn his first time through the order. No balls and a strike as goes down to a knee and can't catch up to that one. 0-1. After Weingartner, it'll be Carter should we get there. 0-1. Fought off foul. And count moves to 0-2.
Heavy off speed against Weingartner. Having trouble against the slider. I think that's been true for all the right-hand batters that have come up against Horn so far. The shadows playing some role in picking up spin.
Very difficult to time up that pitch that sweeps all the way from at you to the other batter's box. Got to just be very patient, wait on it, and find a way to barrel it up. But it's been working for Horn. Pitcher's pitch, 0-2. This time misses it outside at 85 miles per hour, and it's 1-2. Weingartner, native of Berlin, New Jersey, where he went to St. Augustine Prep. 1-2 set to come. Instead, they'll take a look over at first base. Black back in there safely. Weingartner hitting .296 this season, but has a .472 on-base percentage. Top 2 in the club. with, I bet you can guess who. Lines this one under the dive of Murph Gray into left field. And it's a 2-out knock for Ryan Weingartner to keep things alive.
Now batting for Harwich, the center fielder from Auburn.
Great at-bat to at-bat adjustment. Got a breaking ball, but it was over the plate. And despite it being low, able to hook it past the dive of Murph Gray at third base. Ryan Black in scoring position, and the Mariners a chance to tie it with the base hit.
Bristol Carter now will dig in. Struck out back in the first inning. First pitch to him. At the knees, first strike. Carter didn't like it. And you know he's very vocal about how he feels with the strike zone. We saw him having some words with the previous umpire in the last game. Very selective with his pitches. 0-1. Grounded over to the shortstop, Jimenez. Long throw across the diamond, and it's in time. What a play. Antonio Jimenez, all the way from the outfield grass, slings it across and beats the speedy Carter by half a step. That will conclude the first third of the ball game. Wareham still on top 1-0, and when we return, Carson Trail will take us through the middle third on play-by-play duties here on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Leading off the top of the fourth for Wareham.
4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the Gatemen, beginning with Murph Gray, then Jace Reinhardt and Colby Turner. Gray strides in, big, strong right-hand batter against DeSanto. 1-0 Wareham. Only run of the game coming on a solo shot in the first. Gray pops the first pitch up on the infield toward the outfield. Kurland waves everybody off, and he makes the catch. Quickly one gone. Efficient out, so important for DeSanto.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. That was his 47th pitch of the outing. We've seen him go into the 60s and the low 70s, but he knows his inning limit, and it's going to be coming up soon. So trying to find ways to get efficient outs and keep that pitch count down is going to be critical for him for his longevity here in the ball game.
Jace Reinhardt up next. Takes a changeup outside, 1 ball and no strikes. A lot of lineup turnover day to day here in the Cape League. But Reinhardt, one guy who has seen the Mariners before, and he takes one just low. 2-0. Reinhardt in the first game against Harwich, Mariners lost that one at Wareham. He went 1 for 4. Double in the first inning, driving home a run. The 2-0 pitch. Change up. That gets the low strike. It's 2-1. No official at bat for the Wareham left fielder yet. He walked and was stranded at second in the second. Only walk of the year so far for DeSanto. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good pitch that time. Climbed the ladder. Found himself with a pitch up at the letters. Drew the eyes of Reinhardt. Swings right through it.
The stretch. Rolled up the third base side. Black surrounds it, throws on the run, and it's just in time for the out. Nice play of Ryan Black. First time this year he's been at third base for the Mariners, but versatility on full display and a veteran of just about every position in the infield.
Yeah, and that was a play he made look a lot easier than it was. Looked like he had to charge it in and make that off-balance throw. All that was great, but where he was when he fielded the ball, didn't know if he should go backhand or keep the glove as is. And by the time he'd made that decision, it just hit the heel and he was able to recover and make a nice play.
Colby Turner takes strike one. 5 hits total this game so far. Mariners went 6 up, 6 down against Darren Horn, and now the count's 0-2 on the Gatemen DH. Couple of singles in the previous half inning. Darren Horn outside of those has been dealing as DeSanto comes home and gets a swinging strikeout. Second of the game, got the fastball above the zone, and Wareham is set down in order in the fourth. Godbout, Anderson, and Heyman, 3-4-5 to up for the Mariners. Let's see if they can make some noise second time through. 1-0 Wareham on the Mariners Media Network on Cape League TV.
Whether you're at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS.
Join us for Alumni Night, Saturday, July 6th. For more information and to RSVP, contact Harwich Athletic ASSOC@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you all there.
Join us for First Responder Night on July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Cheer on our heroes from Harwich Police, Fire, Coast Guard, Harbor Master, and special guest State Representative Steven Zaros. Make sure to mark your calendars and come show your support for these brave men and women.
One nothing Mariners over the Gatemen to begin the last of the fourth. The DH Henry Godbout in up first against the righty Darren Horn. Horn dominant first time through the order. Mariners threatened in the third inning. Now trying to get things started with the big hitters coming up. Godbout and then Michael Anderson. Godbout takes a ball low. A loud piece of contact for the Mariners DH. That ended the first, a drive to the warning track caught by Reinhardt. 1-0 pitch. Off the end of the bat to shallow left. Gray racing out. The shortstop Jimenez calls for it and he makes the catch.
That was a tremendous play made by Jimenez. When you're running at that angle and trying to track the ball simultaneously, it's really difficult, especially with the sun looming over. I mean, that's just textbook. You can't teach that. Great play. Years of experience it takes to be able to track that thing down. And could have easily been trouble. A lot of guys in the pros have trouble with those type of plays.
Just a dead sprint out toward the left field corner. And it's 0-1 to Michael Anderson. Michael Anderson, the newest Arkansas Razorback. After he played his first couple of years at Rhode Island, swing and a miss. Got both cheeks into that swing. And that's been the biggest commitment so far for the Mariners out of the over a dozen that they've had. Good take. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Anderson, a guy who can tie up this ball game with 1 swing of the bat, tied for the league lead in home runs with 4. It's also tallied 12 runs batted in.
1-2 pitch. Skips in the dirt. 15 Harwich Mariners have entered the transfer portal this year, and 13 of them have committed. Only two remaining, Tommy Barth out of East Tennessee State and Danny Dickinson, currently at Team USA, but soon to return. Bounce and a weird bounce off the lip and off the glove of Horn. The play from second, Bozer throws him out. Couple of tricky plays to begin the bottom of the fourth. That one didn't look like it looked like it was going to roll towards second off the bat, but it hit the lip out in front of home plate and ricocheted to Horn, who sort of tipped it to Bozer. That's the only way he could have made that play.
It looked like Anderson kind of thought once he chopped it softly, kind of was jogging, going through the motion to get down to first, and then he realized he had a chance to get there. Turned it up, but it was too little, too late.
0-1 to Luke Heyman. Struck out in the first inning. Struggling early on to begin his Mariners career. Catcher out of Florida. 1-1. Mainstay catcher, one of the best offensively in the SEC. But oftentimes he'd play first base. That's when Jack Caglione, the two-way sensation, made his start on the mound. Swing and a miss. So Heyman's a guy whose glove you want in the lineup, but more importantly, you want his voice on the field. Field general for Florida. And he lines one into center field, a base hit. Past the dive of Bozer. So Heyman's aboard on a two-out single.
Looked like it stung him a little bit, shaking his hand out down at first, but I'm sure he's very happy with that small price to pay after 5 straight strikeouts over the last 1+ games. Now finally checks in with a base hit. It's got to feel great to be able to get that off of you.
Now here's Cade Kurland, who bounced out in his first at-bat. 1-0 lead for Wareham after a solo home run by Max Williams in the first. 1-0 to Kurland. Looking at the out-of-town scores, only one result finalized so far, and it was an upset. Orleans beat Catuit. The last-place team in the East beat the leaders of the West Division, 4-3 at Lowell Park. Catuit, a late rally, could not score the tying run.
And you know what that means for Wareham. If they're able to win this game here tonight, they'll have sole possession of first place in the West, so a little more on the line for them now.
Check swing, the appeal to first, and Jim Fonseca says Kurland did not go. 2-1. Chatham and Brewster, each at 5-8, tied for third place in the East Division. It's 2-1 Anglers at Brewster. Kurland swings and misses 2-2. Other games still going. Bourne has a 3-1 lead at YD. So if the Mariners could win and the result of that game holds, they would pick up a game on the Red Sox, who are 10-3. 2-2 to the Harwich second baseman, choked up on his bat, and he's worked the count full. That'll give his Gators teammate Luke Heyman a head start.
Yeah, just find a gap for it. We saw him do it in his last game against the Orleans Firebirds here at White House. With Heyman getting the head start, you can tie up this ball game.
Here's the payoff. Kurland takes low. Ball 4, first walk of the game that Horn has issued. And for the second straight inning, the Mariners have 2 aboard with 2 out.
Things starting to get a little interesting. You got a guy who's already got the confidence, found a hit off this wing earlier in the ball game back in inning number 3. Stroked one right out into center field, and favorable matchup, righty on lefty. Let's see if Black can deliver.
A rocket single up the middle, one of the hardest hit balls of the day for the Mariners, and he takes outside ball 1. Heyman a 2-out single and Kurland the 2-out walk. Can the Mariners cash in to tie this game? Takes a strike above the belt. Looks like Horn took something off that time, 1-1.
Yeah, pitcher's pitch just pulled the string 85 miles per hour. Now we'll see if he elects to go back to a similar style pitch or tries to gas him up.
The 1-1. Hooked on the ground softly towards second. Bozer just gets the throw to first in time. So the Mariners threaten, but they do not score. We go to the fifth. It is 1-0 Wareham on Cape League TV.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Six hits total through the first 4 frames, and Ryan DeSantos still out there for the Mariners. Action in the bullpen. Some recreational activity currently and some weighted ball activity getting going. The Mariners bullpen is full after a couple of days off. Their last game was home against Orleans. 5-1 finish, using a couple of their newer rivals in that one. Tommy Allman in particular was very good, the righty who just transferred from Jacksonville to Oklahoma State. Another transfer on the hill right now for the Mariners, Ryan DeSanto. Spent his first couple of years at St. Joe's before transferring to Penn State for this upcoming spring. The newly expanded Big Ten. Conference realignment officially reset, I think, yesterday. First up, it's Antonio Jimenez, also a new transfer to University of Central Florida as he takes up and away.
Yeah, all this conference realignment stuff's getting really interesting. Of course, it affects you a little too close to home. Your Stanford Cardinals?
Cardinals singular, very close.
Cardinal. Stanford Cardinal.
In the Atlantic Coast Conference.
There you go.
2 balls, no strikes. Hitters count to the powerful Jimenez. 2 home runs on this season. And he takes high and tight. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up. Jimenez, Putnam, and Gio Cueto. Starting shortstop for the Gatemen last time these two teams met. And he takes a fastball in there for strike 1. Jimenez was leading off for the Gatemen in that first matchup between these two teams. He went 1 for 4 with a walk and a caught stealing. 3-1 way low and inside. And Jimenez has reached on the second walk issued by DeSanto.
So his control's been a little off. DeSanto guy who we mentioned didn't walk anyone coming in tonight. But here we are, already he's given up a pair of walks, and that's now the 3rd time the leadoff man has been aboard for the Gatemen. A 1-run game, that starts to get a little sketchy, especially with speed and Jimenez.
Eli Putnam toward the bottom of the order despite 2 home runs, fouls the first pitch off his shin. For the 6 home runs in this starting lineup are at the 7-8 spots. Jimenez standing at first base with nobody out, and Putnam the batter is 1 for 1.
Jimenez has stolen 2 bases on just 5 attempts, so he's been caught 3 times. That's top 3 in the Cape League. Not something you want to be associated with.
Checked the swing, but easily held up. I say checked. He thought about it. Looked honed in on the off-speed pitch, but Putnam took it low and inside. big hole on the right side of the infield as the 1-1. A rocket out to left center field. Bristol Carter ranging back. He's got it. And that chases Jimenez back to first.
Really good footwork by Carter there. It looked like he didn't take the most direct angle, but once he realized he needed to adjust, didn't trip over his own feet, and was able to come under it comfortably and able to record the out.
Only run of this game on a first inning solo shot. Wareham with the lead, trying to take their second of 4 contests over the Mariners this year. Gio Cueto, the catcher, fouled back. Right-hander against right-hander. Cueto out of Stetson. 13 at-bats entering today with 2 hits, including a double. Off-speed way outside from DeSanto.
And it came down to playing time for him moving over to Stetson. Was at Wake Forest prior to that and just wasn't happy with the reps he was being given. Figured, all right, I'll take my talents elsewhere, and it's worked out real well for him.
The righty in the bullpen for Harwich, Olin Johnson, activated a couple of days ago from North Carolina. There goes Jimenez. They got him picked off. Anderson throw to second is dropped. Weingartner tried to be too quick with his glove. It hit off the air, and it's ruled an E6.
Tough play for Weingartner. It looked like he tried to apply the tag as Jimenez was moving. It was not an easy play, and Anderson with a nice throw down, but unfortunately just tried to apply the tag before he had the ball, and anytime you try and do that, bad things are going to happen. Runner in scoring position. Jimenez can take a sigh of relief now, of course.
Classifying that as a forced error empirically. That's speed. Without Jimenez's speed, Harwich not needing to rush to make that play. So 2-1 the count on Cueto, with the top of the order in Summerhill due up next. This may very well be DeSanto's last batter. Fouled out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Just find a way to win this battle, even if it's your last. Going in the top of the order, do everything you can. He's been efficient. He's given up just the 1 run. And if you're able to get this guy, you leave Olin Johnson in a much better scenario.
Two coming to Cueto. Fouled straight back. Hanging change up there. Cueto just a little bit off balance.
It was hung. Absolutely, Carson. You said it perfectly. Middle away, and if Cueto had just sat on it a little longer and barreled it, it could have been a lot of trouble.
Base hit could drive home Cueto's second run of the year. Another 2-2. There goes Jimenez. He fakes a steal, and Heyman pops out of his crouch to get it anyway. Could have been a good pitch to throw on, but Jimenez not committing to taking a base.
Yeah, and wisely so. He was not even halfway there by the time Heyman had the ball.
DeSanto looking to avoid his second walk of the inning. The payoff to Cueto. Just inside ball 4. Cueto was already out of the box by the time that one reached the plate. But it did not miss by much.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. You can see the Harwich dugout not pleased with the call. Jeff Merzell has had a pretty consistent zone tonight, but definitely one I'd like to see again. It looked like he might have found the zone in a full count, given the tide of the batter. Not something you see too much.
That sets up the force play for Summerhill, who fouls the first pitch off to the left. Brendan Summerhill, the speedy and powerful center fielder out of University of Arizona. Homer this year, 1 for 2 today with a single. 2 walks and an error in the inning for the Mariners. The 0-1. Big curveball wraps its way around the inside corner, 0-2. Infield's playing for a pair, as you can see. Bobby Bozer, the dangerous righty, due up next. The 0-2 pitch. Way outside. DeSanto possibly emptying the tank. We were expecting that this was going to be the tail end of his outing. Right-hander warming up. Could be the last man he faces one way or another. One-two pitch. In the dirt, Heyman knocks it down and keeps it close enough so neither Jimenez nor Cueto can move up the extra 90 feet.
Now the most pitches he's thrown in and outing this season for Harwich, up to 74 total pitches, and you can see now he's just trying to aim it. He's kind of lost his confidence in trying to find ways to hit corners of the zone for flashy strikeouts. Instead, he's just got to win the battle.
2-2. Popped up. In foul ground, Heyman screaming for it. Ryan Black converges. Heyman slides into the screen. The ball drops out of play. And Heyman gingerly gets up. He's all right. He's been getting banged up a lot back there. Also hit a jam shot single. So he's been scraped up. On that play, that one just kind of into no man's land. A lot of foul territory here at the house. Ryan Black and Heyman equidistant from it where that dropped. Still 2-2. Pop foul again. Heyman does his due diligence and watches it drop near the restrooms.
Just ran out of a couple feet on that last play. Heyman and Black gave it a good effort, but just a couple feet more and you would have had that big second out. Now instead, you're going to have to go through Summerhill, who's not an easy guy to face. Or rather, Bozer.
The pitch on the way. Chopped softly up the first base side. It takes a weird hop. Anderson snares it, steps on the bag, and sidesteps Summerhill, chugging up the line. Both runners advance, and that one took a hop that made Anderson sprawl out for it like an acrobat. Not only did he snare it, but he stepped on the bag and didn't even make contact with Summerhill. So that's it for DeSanto. As expected, with the righty Bozer coming up, we're going to see a pitching change. 2 on, 2 out. It's 1-0 Wareham. Still in the top of the 5th on Cape League TV.
Here at the Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the Lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
No pitching change yet, and it looks like Ryan DeSanto is still out there on the mound. Likely to be his last batter, but Steve Englert letting his ace go one more hitter. It's Bobby Bozer, the dangerous righty, and returning Gatemen, an all-star last year for Wareham. And he's got a home run this year, 0 for 2 today against DeSanto, including one of 2 strikeouts for the lefty. First pitch. Change up right in there, strike 1. Jimenez at third. Cueto at second, both reached on walks. Max Williams, who homered off DeSanto, is on deck. The 0-1. Change up low. Bozer took that one flat-footed. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's a big at-bat. Could be the turning point in the ball game, one way or the other.
Now the 1-1. On the inside corner. Got the inside strike, and it's 1-2.
It's a big pitch for DeSanto. Now he's way ahead in the count. He's a guy who likes to throw primarily strikes. I mean, just about 60% of the balls he's thrown tonight, maybe more, have been strikes. So find a way to groove this.
Fastball outside. 89 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 count. 2 in scoring position. A base hit could score them both. The pitch to Bozer. Fouled straight back. That was an off-speed pitch that was up. But Bozer just able to spoil that. The veteran Bozer, standing 6'1", 209 pounds, out of Wesley Chapel, Florida. Now the 2-2 again. Fouled again.
It's a really good pitch by DeSanto. Living on the outer part of the plate, not giving Bozer something he can pull. Still got a pitch to waste. We'll see what he does here.
What will the Wareham captain do? The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. DeSanto dances out of danger and strands 2 in the 5th. Halfway home at the house. It's 1-0 Wareham. And it's Bart, Scannell, and the top of the order coming up for Harwich when we come back on Cape League TV. Before we head to break, real quick, talking about the next 3 games. 4th of July is coming up. But before that, the Mariners pay a visit to Brewster. Tomorrow's matchup taking place at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday, they return home against the Caps, the 2 closest teams to each other. Everybody trying to minimize travel on the 4th of July. The Whitecaps come to town on Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and then Friday, Harwich pays a visit to Bourne, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, first pitch. Those are the next 3 games. We head into the break. 1-0 Wareham here at White House Field on Cape League TV. New pitcher for Wareham, and I think the Mariners are very thankful that that's the case. Darren Horn was dominant in 4 scoreless innings, 3 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Mariners threatened against him each of the past 2 frames, but now they have to adjust to Heath Andrews, rising sophomore at NC State, 6'3", 196-pounder, out of Fincastle, Virginia. Struggled limiting the runs in his first season at Division I. 12 earned runs in 9.1 innings pitched for the Pack this season. So he faces Barth, Scannell, and Ryan Weingartner. Barth, the left fielder, one of 5 strikeouts for Horn, Andrews' predecessor. This was a game, I think, that you thought that it was going to get out of hand early. Williams, a solo home run. Max Williams, the Wareham right fielder, the only run of the game so far. Then Wareham threatening in the 2nd, and a leadoff man on in the 3rd. Thought that more offense was impending as a swinging strike one, 94-mile-an-hour heater to Barth. It's 0-1.
It's funny, we've been watching all this low 90s and then 80s action on the mound up until now, but seeing this mid-90s is night and day.
Fastball inside, 1-1.
It's got kind of a slow motion and then a quick release. It's kind of an interesting combination. Tough for hitters at time.
1-1. Off the end of the bat, dribble to the right side. Putnam on a backhand, tosses to first in time. Nice play by Andrews covering, and Barth is set down to begin the bottom of the 5th.
Really nice play that time, and Good heads-up play by Eli Putnam. Didn't know if he should go underhand, but given the time, had to go overhand and fire it. Credit to Heath Andrews getting over to the bag and finding it. Big out number one.
Now Matt Scannell, another returning veteran for the Mariners. He takes a fastball in the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Scannell struggled to start the year. Finally got his first hit, and then the hard contact kept coming, just not the results. 1-1 on the changeup from Andrews. So Scannell, after spending his undergraduate career at Princeton, taking his talents to Wake Forest. Low strike at 95, it's 1-2. Couple of graduate transfers for the Mariners this year. Scannell, one of two. The other, Griffin Kern, just transferred to West Virginia. Great take by Scannell on a low outside breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Pitcher's pitch that time. Really well located by Andrews. Started in the box and tried to grab the outside corner. Nice miss.
Takes the 2-2 in tight. Mariners trying to get their leadoff man aboard for the second time this game. Ryan Black single to start the third. That one's chopped out towards second. Bozer on his backhand side throws out Scannell. Great start for Andrews. The Harwich offense sputtered at times. They lost back-to-back games, one of which was at Wareham. But the Mariners getting momentum in the right direction. 2 straight wins, with the last coming against Orleans. They play Brewster 2 games in a row, with 4th of July coming up, as the first pitch is on the inside corner to Ryan Weingartner, strike 1.
Like that one fooled him. He kind of stood upright, got out of his stance before it even got there, unless he was just taking it all the way.
Swings the fastball and pops it out towards shallow right. Putnam toward the foul line, puts it away. And a quiet first inning of work for Heath Andrews ends the 5th. 3-4-5 coming up for the Gatemen, who lead 1-0 when we come back on Cape League TV.
So cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS.
Alumni, join us for Alumni Night, Saturday, July 6th. For more information and to RSVP, contact Harwich Athletic ASSOC@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you all there.
Join us for First Responder Night on July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Cheer on our heroes from Harwich Police, Fire, Coast Guard, Harbor Master, and special guest State Representative Steven Zaros. Make sure to mark your calendars and come show your support for these brave men and women.
Wareham 1, Harwich 0 as we begin the 6th inning. Williams, Gray, and Reinhardt duel up against the new right-hander Olin Johnson, making his Cape League debut.
Yeah, really excited to see Olin Johnson toe the rubber. 6'6", 220, sophomore out of Bellingham, Washington. Went to the McAley School out in Tennessee, so really has shifted all around the country, of course, playing up in the Cape now. But a rising sophomore at North Carolina. And this past season posted a record of 1-0 with a .496 earned run average. Made 7 appearances, 6 of which were starts. A 1.71 whip across 16 1/3, 10 strikeouts to 8 walks, and did surrender the 20 hits. So definitely a limited sample size, but in that time had some struggles retiring batters, a lot of hits and walks. And we'll see how he can make his debut here in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Number 5, Max Williams.
Max Williams, a formidable first opponent, hit a solo home run that's accounted for the only run of today's action.
And this time they're going to go to a righty after the lefty DeSanto just went.
First pitch, swing and a miss. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run allowed, 3 hits and 3 strikeouts. No balls, 1 strike as the windup pours in a fastball, bottom of the zone. That fastball really got some life to it.
Yeah, he's up in the mid-90s. Very encouraging to see. You need that velocity and a big wing. Kind of reminds me of Chance Mako a little bit.
Popped off the end of the bat to shallow right. Kurland waves everybody off, makes the 2-hand grab, and there's 1 gone here in the 6th.
Now batting for Wareham, third baseman.
Nice job that time. Getting your first out's always huge. Confidence builder, and this is a guy Harwich has been waiting for. You've been expecting him to arrive this whole season. Now the well-awaited debut. And coming into a 1-run ball game, he's going to be relied on rather heavily.
Trying to keep this deficit right where it is, 1-0 game. Murph Gray takes up breaking ball high. Mariners hoping to pick up a win against Wareham tonight. That likely brings them 1 game closer in the East, result of YD's game pending. Fastball misses low, 1-1. 2 games have concluded here tonight. Actually, no, 3 have. YD and Bourne just wrapped up. Red Sox go down and are saddled with their 4th loss of the year. Swing and a miss. So Harwich can pick up a game with the victory over the Gatemen tonight.
They need to pick up some runs before they can even consider doing that, though. Offense has got to get going.
2-1. Smack to second. Kurland down to an E. Throws him out routinely. 2 away.
Couple quick putouts for Kurland. That one hit really hard. Nice to stay back on it. Let the play come to him. Waste no time. 2 up, 2 down. Helping out his pitcher.
Left fielder from West Virginia, number 20, Jace Ross.
The other result to be finalized is Chatham and Brewster, Anglers over the Whitecaps, 2-1. Harwich was supposed to play Chatham on Sunday, but that game got rained out. Postponed to July 11th. High strike called to Jace Reinhardt, who's 0 for 1 with the walk.
And he looked back and asked Marzella where that hit the zone. Definitely looked like it came in high, Carson.
That one skips in, another breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. So 3 of 5 contests have concluded. Hyannis is visiting Falmouth, and they lead the Commodores 3-2. Swing and a miss. Olin Johnson 1 strike away from getting out of his first inning cleanly. The Tar Heel sophomore comes home. Squibbed off the end of the bat toward first and foul.
Yeah, although Johnson made 6 starts this past season, none of them went past 4 innings. His longest outing came back in March against UNC Wilmington. Threw 71 pitches through those 4 innings, so hasn't been known to go deep into ball games, but coming in relief here, this seems like the perfect spot for him to pick up the baton.
1-2 down and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mariners will have the big boys coming up. Trying to keep this deficit at 1 run. Fouled off of Heyman. Still 2-2.
And doing all this at just 19 years old. A true freshman this past season in North Carolina. Now comes to the Cape. Big things in store for him.
That Tar Heels rotation has so much young talent. Likely that we see more and more of Johnson going forward as the breaking ball just misses outside 3-2.
He was the number 6 prospect and number 3 right-handed pitcher in Washington State, ranked by Perfect Game. So a high prospect and has lived up to the hype.
Recruiting coast to coast as the payoff is bounced past the glove of Johnson up the middle. Turlin a tough play and he throws him out.
3 putouts for Kurland.
Great inning for Kurland and also for Olin Johnson. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Harwich needs some runs. They trail 1-0.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Third man on the mound for the Gatemen, Lucas Malstedt from Clemson. Taking a look at his year so far, 6'3", 175 pounds. He's made 3 appearances, 4 innings, 3 hits, allowing 1 earned run and a 2.25 ERA. Officially a 1-0 record with 3 walks and as many strikeouts. A low submarine release point and a very tough task ahead of Bristol Carter in the middle of the lineup.
Yeah, we'll see how Harwich can respond to this style of pitching. Not something they've seen maybe at all. They've seen a little bit of like a 2/3, but nothing really submarine style. And always difficult to adapt. 1-run ball game, they're going to have to find something to make it work quick. Maybe capitalize on a pitch that finds its way up in the zone. We shall see.
Could be that Carter decides to employ the bunt with his speed. And he takes a low strike on a breaking ball, 0-1. Carter 0 for 2 today. Struck out and bounced out. Topped foul. The third baseman, Gray, now with 2 strikes, is playing back. Actually backed up ahead of the 0-1 pitch, but Carter not bunting. The rest of the infield playing straight away. Right-hander against right-hander, the 0-2. A bowling ball sinker fouled into the dirt near home plate.
Yeah, those sinkers are nasty, especially with the natural rise you get from that submarine delivery. So then when you're able to elevate it and bring it back down, really tough for hitters to pick up, especially at this level. Really good pitch that time from Malstedt.
Righty reliever out of Clemson comes home. Carter pops it foul.
He's got that 4-pitch arsenal too, which really makes it difficult for hitters to sit on anything, because you're already trying to figure out the delivery, but he's got that fastball, curveball, slider, and change.
Not often you see a guy with such a diverse arsenal from Submarine. And another 0-2 popped foul. Carter just trying to get his footing against a guy that relies on deception. Henry Godbout and Michael Anderson due up after the Harwich center fielder. Carter originally from the Northeast, born and lived a couple of years in Nashua. And he bounces one foul.
Really nice at bat for Carter now. He's fighting to stay alive. all those pitches have been strikes, but he's now set to see what will be his 7th in the at-bat.
Hits one high down the left field line, and it hooks foul.
Seems like he's way ahead of these last couple. But credit to him. Already getting in Malstead's head. 8th pitch coming now. Quality at bat nonetheless. Win or lose for Carter.
Hoping to start things off with a trip aboard, and he goes around on a check swing, strike 3. Finally, Malstead gets him.
Now batting for Harwich, the DH from Virginia, number 5, Henry.
And there's one gone ahead of Godbout.
It's a good pitch. Just once you know that he's swinging at just about everything, you can throw something a little borderline and get him to check. And Carter thought he held up, but Merzel ringing him up.
Mariners with 3 hits total today. Henry Godbout still unhappy with that strike zone. Takes one at the bottom of the zone, strike 1. The DH from Virginia facing off against a guy you might have seen a couple of times in ACC play. Malstead, of course, a Clemson Tiger. 1 ball, 1 strike. Michael Anderson up next. Popped off the hands. Cueto got a late break, and it's out of play anyway.
Yeah, it looks like Harwich really struggling to catch up to these pitches. You get flat swings on them. All that top to bottom motion. It's really giving them trouble. I mean, catching up to the pitch. They've been on it, but barreling it up has been a serious problem.
1-2 to Godbout. A late called strike 3, and Godbout once again sent packing.
Credit to Malstead, winning these battles any way you can. He's thrown now 13 pitches, or rather 12 pitches. 11 of them have been strikes, and he's got a pair of strikeouts. So just war of attrition, it seems like, thus far between him and the Harwich offense, and he's been the successor.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Malstead to begin his outing. Now Michael Anderson. Hitless today. Capable of tying this with 1 swing. And he takes a sinker at the knees for a strike. Sinker ballers so tough to take out of the yard. Likely is not Anderson's objective here. A guy who likes to keep it simple. 1-1. Luke Gatemen on deck would be next. Mariners have not had a hit since the 4th inning. And that one is hit a mile just foul down the left field side.
Yeah, Anderson way ahead of it that time. It was 79 miles per hour. Took a lot off it. And Anderson barreled it up, but was way out in front. Sent one all the way into the woods. Probably going to send a few kids home with poison ivy after that one.
1-2. Chop to the left side. Gray cuts it off, winds up, and throws across in time. So another 1-2-3 inning. Harwich has been set down. That's the 4th inning today that they have sent the minimum to the plate. We go to the 7th. Devin Dobek will take back play-by-play duties. Colby Turner, Antonio Jimenez, and Eli Putnam do up for the Gatemen, who lead 1-0 on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Final third of the ball game. Devin Doback, Carson Trail with Dave Roberts alongside, set to bring you home in this wonderful Tuesday evening baseball game between the Mariners and the Gatemen. 1-0 our score. Wareham still on top after Max Williams hit a solo shot in inning number 1. That is currently the difference. 3 hits aside. Both sides have stranded a handful of runners, 4 for the Gatemen and 4 for the Mariners. So just not a whole lot of offense as Olin Johnson back out to the hill to start the 7th. Misses up high to Colby Turner. 1-0. After Turner, it'll be Jimenez, followed by Eli Putnam. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball. Snapped in there. Perfect pitcher's pitch for Johnson, and it's 1-1. Turner has flied out to left and also struck out swinging. 1-1. Slapped over into right field for a base hit. Beautiful piece of hitting that time. Waited for the breaking ball and striped it right out into the outfield. It's a leadoff single, and the 4th time Wareham has had the leadoff man on tonight. Just have had trouble pushing runners around.
And that swing looked pretty last minute. Realized that that breaking ball was a mistake and it was dropping up in the zone. Turner able to get enough barrel to it to get it right past Kurland. And now let's see how Olin Johnson works from the stretch.
Antonio Jimenez will dig in. He's flied out to left and walked. First pitch shows bunt, and it's in there for a strike. Jimenez has flied out to left and walked, but he's still searching for that first hit in a game that's had minimum offense. No balls and a strike. The pitch misses outside, and it'll be 1-1. Johnson worried about that runner. Turner's got a little bit of speed over at first base. And the pitch misses just outside. Close one. Johnson wanted the call, won't get it, and he falls behind in the count. 2-1. Jimenez will be followed by Putnam and Cueto should we get there. Wareham trying to add some insurance. They just picked up their 4th hit of the ball game. Still just a 1-run lead. The pitch. Punched out into center field and down for a base hit. Touching second, thinking about third is Turner, but he retreats back. Back-to-back hits for the Gatemen. And they got 2 on with nobody away.
And all of a sudden, this becomes a very big spot for Johnson. 2-man reach. Putnam likely in a sacrifice bunt situation. Anything that Wareham can do to scratch even one more run across would make this game feel much more out of reach.
Putnam has singled and flied out to center field already here tonight. And the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. A little bit of turbulence for Johnson after a 1-2-3-6 in the 7th back-to-back single surrendered. Turner at second, Jimenez at first. Putnam trying to push him around. Double, maybe triple the lead. The pitch shows bunt, gets it down perfectly. Heyman will have to go on to first. The throw is just in time. Had some weird spin on it. And Heyman had to make a nice throw. And so 1 down, but runners in both second and third now.
Looks like that throw was taking Michael Anderson into the baseline. So a great job of securing it and then getting out of the way. Running back the runner from third with nobody covering the bag. Nonetheless, still an opportunity for Wareham to put this one seemingly out of reach.
Cueto, the 9-hitter, trying to make an impact. He's already reached base once with a walk. Has 1 ball and no strikes now. Already ahead. And sometimes you'd maybe consider putting a man on to have a force anywhere, but it's the 9-hitter, and that would give way to the top of the order, so not something Engler would even think about at this point in the ball game here in the 7th inning. 1-0 misses outside, and now a hitter's count at 2-0. Infield completely on the grass here at White House. On deck, as mentioned, top of the order, and Brendan Summerhill. 1 away here in the 7th. And the pitch. Just misses up high. Now it's 3 balls and no strikes. Johnson's got to be careful. Got to find a way to throw a strike, but don't want to leave it over too much of the plate. Not worth the risk when you think about the free base open at first. See what he elects to do. See if Cueto has the green light. 3-0. In there for a strike. That one just a little lower than the last one. Throw almost got away that time. Johnson 6'6" with a pretty big wingspan, able to reel it in. 3-1 set to come home. And it's right down the middle. Cueto didn't even look like he wanted to swing. Bat on his shoulder, never moved it. So count is worked full. Biggest pitch of the day for Olin Johnson set to come. Seems confident out in the stretch. Looks in, gets the sign. Now comes set at the waist, and here's the pitch. Fought off foul. Cueto's left hand actually fell off the bat through the swing, but able to fend it off, and to his credit, he'll have another life.
And while a walk would set up the force play, bottom of the order, you got to pitch for the strikeout here.
Payoff coming. And this one's fouled off over to the right. And we will do it again. And cut the tension with a knife. White House, everybody holding their breath. A one-run ball game, and when offense has been hard to come by for either side, all these chances with 2 ducks on the pond, so important. Looks like there is a little bit of action, stretching and warming in the Harwich pen. Here's the payoff. Grounded over to Godbout, or rather Weingartner, who'll go home. The tag not in time. Heyman pleading that he did get the tag on the runner. But for the moment, it's going to be 2-0 Wareham, and not really a reviewable play for Jeff Merzell or his crew. So doing his job is Cueto, and Wareham doubles the lead.
Yeah, tough play for Weingartner, ranging to his backhand side. He threw on the run home, and not a reviewable play. Steve Engler coming out from the dugout. Bryson Bales ready to go down the side.
So we'll see what he's got to say to Johnson. He's got nothing to say to the umpire, but it's definitely getting a little rocky, probably trying to buy some time for his wing. And it looks like Engler will be making the move. So when we come back, we'll meet the new wing for the Mariners. On the other side, it's 2-0 Gatemen. We'll be right back on Cape League TV.
They're at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS.
Are you a Harwich Mariners alumni? Join us for Alumni Night, Saturday, July 6th. For more information and to RSVP, contact harwichathleticassoc@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you all there.
Hey Mariners fans, join us for First Responder Night on July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Cheer on our heroes from Harwich Police, Fire, Coast Guard, Harbor Master, and special guest State Representative Steven Zaros. Make sure to mark your calendars and come show your support for these brave men and women.
Bryson Bales out of Hendrix College will inherit a couple runners on the corners. Antonio Jimenez down at third, and Gio Cueto after that fielder's choice is over at first. Mariners running into some trouble. It was a pretty quick game, went pretty quickly up until this point. Now it's been kind of just a pitcher's duel getting deep in accounts. But yeah, we went through the first 4 innings in less than an hour, and now here we are just about an hour later, and we're just into the 7th. So Bales, who comes in with some serious velocity, is set to make what will be his 3rd appearance of the season. He has a whip of 1 across 2 innings, giving up just a pair of hits and 1 strikeout, no walks. He's been good in the limited sample he's given the Mariners, but now being baptized into a situation in which every run matters, and got to find a way to retire these guys.
Like that left-on-left matchup, pitching for the strikeout. First time since June 21st that a Bales has appeared into a game. One of the high-leverage arms for Steve Englert in a high-leverage situation. Harwich behind, but a big base hit, one for extra bases, could put this one out of reach.
Marzell granting time here. Bales, the lefty, 6'3", 195. Redshirt senior out of Round Rock, Texas. Went to Cedar Ridge High School. First pitch, breaking ball, really nice on the inside corner. And it's 0-1. After Summerhill, it will be Bobby Bozer and then Max Williams should we get there. 1 away with runners on the corners. We'll see if they decide to put Cueto in motion. They show bunt, and a strike called anyway despite it being pulled back. And it's 0-2. Summerhill has grounded out to the pitcher on a bunt before, and he's also singled and grounded out to first. Punches this one just over the head of Cade Curlin into right center field for a base hit. In to score is Jimenez, down into third safely. Will be Gio Cueto, and it's going to be a double credited to Brendan Summerhill, legging that one out. And looks like the madness will continue here with Wareham jumping up to a 3-0 lead.
And 2 of these 3 hits in this inning have been very softly hit. That one just a flare out towards center field where Carter was playing deep.
Three 3-0 our score. Runners at second and third for Bobby Bozer. Favorable matchup for him. Lefty on righty. First pitch, cut and a miss. It's 0-1. Bozer has flied out to center and also struck out swinging twice. Still searching for his first trip aboard. It would be a great time to do it. Pad the Wareham lead. 0-2. Went down fishing. Flat-footed swing. And he's behind now. Going to have to protect. Bales looking for his first strikeout. 6 hits for the Gatemen, 3 for the Mariners. And just 1 error that belongs to the Mariners. Here's the 0-2. This is up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bales, born August 9th, 01, one of the older guys and more seasoned players in this Mariner team. Misses down low that time. 2-2. Made his debut back on June 18th against Bourne. A 10-2 victory for the Mariners here at White House. Hasn't gone more than an inning in either of his outings. Comes in here still searching for his first out, the 2-2. That one, in there, strike 3. Dropped it right down to the knees, and it's a big second out for the Mariners, trying to minimize the damage, trailing by 3.
Third strikeout of the day for Bozer. Wareham's veteran kept uncharacteristically quiet.
Max Williams' turn. He's already homered in the ball game. Since then, he's popped out to each of the middle infielders. First pitch gets away from the catcher, Heyman, and this could be a free run, and it will be for the Gatemen. So it's a pass ball credited to Heyman, who's been so sharp on defense up until this point. And a bunch of mistakes Sloppy play for the Mariners has continued to hurt them here in the 7th. Down over to third goes Summerhill with Cueto scoring. And Williams a chance to make it a 5-0 lead. Outside of this ball game, every game in the Cape League has been a one-run game. That pitch runs inside, almost got a piece of Max Williams. 2 balls and no strikes. Murph Gray on deck. But for now, Williams, the 7th hitter in the inning. Pop up. Leaking towards foul territory. Long run over for Black by the bullpen, and it escapes to safety. Count shifts to 2-1.
And Black covered a lot of ground just to make that play relatively close. It fell out of play, but that's as far as we've seen anyone traverse into foul ground.
Bales trying to work back and even the count. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 89 on that off-speed pitch. Looked like a cutter. And the deuces become wild here at White House. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. The pitch. Bounced in the dirt. Pretty big secondary down at third for Summerhill. And they're going to try and swipe home. Did they? No! Looked like Summerhill actually might have got in there by my naked eye, but instead he's going to be caught stealing. So a big third out for the Mariners, and they will take it as that closes up the top of the 7th. Time to stretch here at the house. We'll be right back in a flash on the Harwich Mariners Network.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Heyman, Curlin, and Black due up for the Harwich Mariners after they gave up 3 in the top half of the 7th. Now they have some work to do. Heyman on the day is 1 for 2. He singled and also struck out. Out of Florida, just had that pass ball go by in the top half. You'd know he'd like a chance for some revenge here in the bottom. Big cut and a miss. Wanted all of it and got just a piece, so it's 0-1. Carlin and Black also due up in the inning. Here comes the 0-1. Popped foul off to the right. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. So quickly working behind. Remember, he started the game with a strikeout, had 4 last game, so really not wanting that to be the fate here. 0-2 becomes 1-2 on a pitch down in the dirt. Heyman does have some serious power. Big 6'4", 220 stature for the rising junior. Lifts this one out into the gap, but chasing it down and making a play is Max Williams, showing off his range and speed, is able to retire Luke Heyman.
From Florida, number 11, Katie Curland.
Hopefully a positive sign of things to come. Heyman almost broke his bat on a single in the fourth, and then some loud contact ahead of Curland.
So Curlin will dig in. Mariners trying to string together a late rally. They've had just the 3 hits today and not going to win you too many ball games. They're still scoreless. Trying to avoid being shut out against this Gatemen team who's given them so much trouble. Across now, doing the quick math, about 17 innings, maybe 16 innings. They've had just 8 hits off the Gatemen. Pitching has been dominant. It's 0-2 now to Cade Curlin. Curlin, 5'11", 195 out of Tampa, Florida. Of course, a Florida Gator. Here comes the 0-2. Foul tipped. And they'll stay alive at 0-2. Freshman All-American by Baseball America. Of course, a rising junior now, but he's had all the accolades. Hit a humbling 245 this past season for Florida before a 297 campaign his freshman year. 1 ball, 2 strikes to him. On base percentage of .346 though this past season, so finding ways to get on other than with the bat. Choking up, here's the 1-2. Floats it over to the second baseman, Bozer. He'll throw on the run, and it's a quick second out for the Gatemen.
Harwich, the third baseman from Georgia.
Mariners trying to avoid their 5th 1-2-3 inning on offense. Fortunately, they've got a guy up there who's 1 for 2 with a rocket single. But the offense has been rather tenuous for Harwich today.
So Ryan Black will dig in. 1 for 2. He singled and also grounded out to second. Here comes the first pitch. Misses outside. One ball, no strikes from Malstead, who's been fantastic. 5 up, 5 down since he entered the ball game. 1-0 is going to miss low for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Black on his way to Georgia, native of Grand Prairie, Texas. Fouls off the next pitch to make it 2-1. 6'1", 195 this past season was at Texas Arlington. For the Mavericks, hit .278 with a .398 OBP. Freshman season hit .336. Offense has been his strong suit, but hitting a humbling .125 for the Mariners since arriving. 2-1 on the outside corner for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Going to have to protect. Mariners have had, now it appears, 10 straight guys set down. As that one's in there. No debate from Black that time as he's rung up. And the Mariners go quietly here in the 7th. 3rd strikeout for Lucas Malstead. And second looking. To the 8th we go. 4-0 our score. The Gatemen on top on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Down at the top of the 8th for Wareham, the red fielder from Florida State, number 5, Max Williams.
Heart of the order, 3-4-5 due up for the Gatemen. They were able to tally 3 in the 7th. As first pitch now will miss outside. It is 1-0. Well, Williams on the day had the only offense up until the 7th inning when his team added 3, but hit a solo shot in the first. Had his at-bat suspended after a teammate was caught trying to steal home. Grounds this one on one hop over to Kurland. He goes on to first. 1 up, 1 down for Bales here in the 8th.
Now batting for Wareham, the third baseman from Fresno State, number 24, Murph Gray.
And the contrast between batted ball expectation and batted ball results has been on full display today. That one a rocket on one hop to Kurland. It feels like everything hit hard today has been an out where everything hit just with the right speed, soft enough to fall in front of somebody or come to a stop on the infield. That's turned into hits. Instrumental in that 3-run rally for Wareham this previous inning.
First pitch to Gray. Swinging strike. It's 0-1. Madera, California native. Went to Madera South High School. 6'4", 220 pounds. Pretty big guy standing over at the hot corner and in the right-hand side against Bales right now. 0-1 misses way away. 1 ball and 1 strike now. The previous game against Cotuit went 0 for 3 with a run, a walk, and a strikeout. Tonight he's also gone 0 for 3 with a ground out to each middle infielder and a pop up to second. 2 balls and 1 strike. Reinhardt on deck. Wareham seeking to add a little bit. 2-1. Misses up and away once more. 3-1. It looks like Bale's missing point has been on the outer part of the plate. Hasn't ran too many pitches inside. Control getting a little away from him. No action in the Harwich bullpen. It looks like once their offense starts to do something in the 8th, it might be Bale's game. Soft grounder over to the third baseman, Black, and he airmails it off the glove of Anderson, who tried to glove it down, and that will be an error charge to Ryan Black. So the Mariners seemingly can't get out of their own way. It's another base runner for the Gatemen.
Now batting for Wareham, the left fielder from West Virginia.
And with 1 out, that will bring up Jace Reinhardt.
And the Mariners have not trailed by this much in quite a few games. So I don't think they're used to playing from behind, trailing by 4 runs. That said, they've scored 4 runs in an inning just 1 game ago. So this game far from over. Let's see if the Mariners can lock back in.
Showing bunt, and instead it's going to drill him. So it'll be a free base for Jace Reinhardt, who's drilled. And so now first and second with 1 away for Colby Turner. See if Steve Engler elects to get someone up and loosening.
All of a sudden, Wareham has the knife hanging over the Mariners. One big swing could sink the dagger.
There go the runners. This one's lifted out into left field. Looks like they could get caught up. Barth there to make the catch. He'll go on a second looking for the double up. And they will get it. Second time that a stolen base attempt has turned into disaster for the Gatemen. Wonderful play by Tommy Barth. And the Mariners now will head to the home half of the 8th, looking to get some or any kind of offense. We'll be right back in a flash on Cape League TV.
Join us for Alumni Night, Saturday, July 6th. For more information and to RSVP, contact harwichathleticassoc@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you all there.
Hey Mariners fans, whether you're at White House Field or cheering from home, gear up with some official Harwich Mariners merchandise. Order online or visit our booth behind home plate. See you soon, and roll NERS. Hey Mariners fans, join us for First Responder Night on July 12th at 6:30 p.m. Cheer on our heroes from Harwich Police, Fire, Coast Guard, Harbor Master, and special guest State Representative Steven Zaros. Make sure to mark your calendars and come show your support for these brave men and women.
Jake Farady's turn, 6'3", 185, coming in relief after Lucas Malstead was fantastic through 2 innings, faced the minimum 6 batters, no runs, no hits, no walks, and 3 punch-outs. Just about all you can ask for with him holding the 1-run game that turned into a 4-run game. Tommy Barth, Matt Scannell, and Ryan Weingartner tasked with trying to get aboard and make this game a little interesting before we head to the 9th and final frame. Here comes the first pitch to Barth, and it's just going to miss on the inside corner, 1-0. Faraday out of Georgetown, Kentucky, went to Great Crossing High School, and Arkansas Razorbacks, so I'm sure him and Michael Anderson will have some words after the game, with Anderson recently committing there. 1-1, catches the outside corner. He's got a pair of saves as well. 1-1. Fouled back, and it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one up in the high 90s on the gun. One, 2 set to come home. And here's the Barth. Fights it off, foul. Our scoreboard's actually reading 100, but it's usually a few miles per hour off, so probably in the high 90s.
Also got a cutter in the mid-90s.
He can sling it. It's a big reason why he's got those 2 saves. Exactly the guy you want. He's got a really nice cushion as insurance. 1-2. Fought off. Barth trying to stay alive. Slowed that one down to 89. And looks like the official velocity is going to be 95 on what was claimed to be 100. And the 1-2. Fouled back. And we'll stay there again. 6 hits for Wareham, 3 for the Mariners. Mariners have committed a pair of errors, and they're trying to get something going here in the 8th, but it has not been easy. Wareham pitching's just been tremendous. 1-2. Fouled back over into the netting. Barth really doing a nice job despite a high velocity. Catching up to pitches, staying alive throughout the at-bat. Pitch to Barth. Popped up over towards the third base side. Murph Gray shifting over into foul territory, now back a little bit towards the line, hauls it in, and it's 1 up, 1 down for Jake Faraday.
And 10 up, and 10, actually 11 up, 11 down for the Wareham pitching staff. The last man to reach base was Cade Kurland in the 4th inning. That was a 1-out or 2-out walk. Since then, 3 strikeouts and a lot of weak contact.
So Scannell's turn, he's 0 for 2 on the day. Popped out to second, grounded out to second, so he's been pulling the baseball. See if he's able to do that against a guy who's throwing some serious velocity. 1 ball, no strikes now to the Wake Forest product. Faraday works a lot slower than most of the other wings, as this one squirted up into foul territory. Another long run over, and it will go find the glove. Almost in our blind spot. What a play made by Murph Gray to retire Scannell. Climbing the fence and able to haul it in on the side. Beautiful out that time for the Gatemen. And there's 2 down here in the 8th.
And that's as impressive of a catch as we've seen in this ballpark all year. Almost up to the bullpen mound, taking a hop and making sure to catch it before it hits the chain link fence or side netting down the left side.
First pitch misses up high. 1 ball, no strikes to Ryan Weingartner. Weingartner on the day, 1 for 3 with a strikeout swinging, a single, and a pop out to first. Mariners have just 3 hits on the night as Weingartner watches a strike over the heart of the plate to make it 1-1. Faraday definitely works at a much slower clip than the other wings we've seen throughout the ball game. Game has really leveled out as 1-1's cut on and fouled off. And it's 1-2. Faraday a long look in at the batter Weingartner. The pitch misses way outside this time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Weingartner, a guy who's so good at getting on base, got that OBP hovering around the 500 mark, just under it. Leads the team in walks. He's got speed at the top of the charts in stolen bases. Valuable guy to get on with 2 away. The pitch popped up. Shallow center field going out is Bozer. He waves for it and hauls it in for out number 3. So the Mariners set down an order for the 4th straight inning. The offense has not been there, but we head to the 9th. Still 3 more outs aside. We'll be back in a flash. 4-0 Gatemen on Cape League TV.
Minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
To the 9th we go, bottom third of the order for the Gatemen. It'll be Michael Benzer coming in to pick up the slack, trying to hold this to a 4-run game so his team has some sort of shot, but it's been absolutely all Wareham up until this point, completely dominating Harwich, holding them to 3 hits and shutting them out on the scoreboard. First pitch from Benzer on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Bale's night looked like this: 1 2/3, a hit. Surrendered no earned runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Turns things over to Benzer out of Houston. Rising junior there. Lefty 6'4", 218. Gets a swinging strike this time to make the count 0-2. This past season at Houston had a 3.86 earned run average through 19 games, a 1.78 whip through just 14 innings, 14 strikeouts, 16 walks as this one's fought off. And we'll do it again at 0-2. For the Mariners, this will be his 4th appearance. He's gone 4 2/3 with a 1.71 whip, 7 strikeouts, 6 walks, and a pair of hits. So very similar numbers to what he did at Houston on a smaller scale. Here comes the 0-2. Just misses. Maybe a little up, maybe a little away. Nonetheless, it's a ball, 1-2. Benzer, a guy who really struggled to throw strikes in his last outing. Threw more balls than strikes throughout his outing. Trying to change that in his 4th appearance here, which ties the team high. Bounces that one in the dirt. 2-2. You'll notice he gets really up in counts and then just begins to completely throw pitches away.
Yeah, he's throwing the breaking ball with a little bit too much intent right now. Just kind of cutting it off, looking for more spin. See if you can challenge him here.
Air mails it this time. Slings it all the way to the backstop. I believe in the air. I'm not sure it even bounced.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that one right to the chains.
Putnam on deck, followed by Cueto. Benzer trying to not lose this first guy. He was up 0-2. Now here comes the payoff. They're going to ring him up. Merzel takes a little time before going into his motion, so delayed reaction. And it's 1 up, 1 down by way of the cave for Benzer. So credit to him, able to win the battle. Now he'll slide it on over to Eli Putnam. Putnam, of course, goes to Davidson, plays in the A-10. 14th appearance. So he's played just about every game for the Gatemen. 12 hits in that time. Coming into tonight in a .316 average. Behind the count 0-1 to Benzer. Seems like we're reading the same script, gets ahead in the counts, and we'll see if he's able to finish him off. Here comes the 0-1. Just misses the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wareham on top 4-0. Thank you for joining us and spending a wonderful Tuesday night at the ballpark. 1-1. Popped foul off over the bleachers, and it's 1-2. Putnam 1 for 3 with a single. He's also flied out and had a sac bunt that he dropped down in the 7th, which was an integral part of the big inning for the Gatemen. Swings and misses there. Pitch was in the dirt. Heyman going to the outside and is able to put the throw on the money. Beautiful pitch from Benzer. Got a little help from the batter, and it's 2 up, 2 down, both by way of strikeout.
And that's one of the products of having that fastball tunneled low in the zone and throwing that breaking ball with the same arm speed, same action. You get some ugly swings like that. Ball bounced almost in front of home plate. Able to get the swinging strike anyway.
Cueto on the day is 0 for 2. He's walked in addition to a fly out to right and a fielder's choice in which he came around to score. That was actually a play Mariners had an out and elected instead to try and take the run off the board, but it was a safe verdict at home plate. So it's 1 ball, no strikes now to Cueto. Heading the count, lefty on righty matchup. The pitch, swing and a miss. 95 registered on the gun from Benzer that time, so maybe a little bit lower. 91, 92, but throwing it hard. Encouraging thing to see. And 1-1 offering. Grounded. Back over towards the middle. Weingartner there. Takes his time now. Throws on to first, and it's just barely in time. Got him by half a step. The Mariners trailing by 4. They're going to need some Mariner magic coming up in the bottom of the 9th after a 1-2-3 top from Michael Benzer. Back on the other side on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery, Welcome to the state of winning.
Two, three, four due up for the Mariners. They're down to their final 3 outs. It's been a year in which they've been able to stretch across a run in 13 games up until this point, in jeopardy of being shut out here tonight. And it's just been all Wareham, similar to what we saw at Spillane Field the other day. Harwich having no answers on either side of the ball. Despite holding the Gatemen to 6 hits, they just have had 3 of their own. First pitch is going to be on the outside corner for a strike to Bristol Carter, 0-1. He's 0 for 3 on the day, a pair of strikeouts and a ground out to short. Faraday back out there for his second inning of work after a 1-2-3/8. Finds the outer edge once more, and it's 0-2. Carter going to have to protect now. Very picky in his selection, but now no choice but to shorten up. 0-2 offering. Bounce down in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. All these pitches in the mid to high 90s. It's been a lot of heat coming off the hand of Faraday. Wareham 1 run in the first, 3 in the 7th, and that's all the offense there's been, the 1-2. Carter fends it off, sends it up into the bleachers. Looks like maybe he almost caught a piece of a fan. Godbout and Anderson on deck. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Bristol Carter is rung up for the 3rd time today. It's been a tough day for all the Mariners at the plate. And the woes continue. It's the first strikeout for Faraday, and the previous 3 batters were all retired via pop-up, which is, you know, when you're trying to catch up to this high velocity speed, you lose your fundamentals, drop your shoulder. You just get a lot of easy pop flies. Shouldn't say easy, as we saw Murph Gray make a sensational play over by the fence back in the 8th inning. With the hindrance, was able to reel it in. 1 ball and no strikes to Godbout. The pitch. Bounce in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Godbout 0 for 3. Gave one a ride out to the warning track and left back in the 1st inning, but since then, not a whole lot going. Pop up to short and a strikeout looking. Next pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 2-1. Godbout's been in the top 4 hitters in the order ever since arriving in Harwich. Made his debut against Wareham, now in his 4th game wearing the Mariner colors. Chops this one over to the second baseman, Bozer. Easily fields it on to first. And the Mariners 1 out away from their first shutout of the season.
Now back for Harwich, the first baseman from Arkansas, number 39,
Michael Anderson will dig in, 0 for 3 on the day. Struck out swinging in the 2nd, grounded out to 2nd in the 4th inning, and grounded out to 3rd in the 6th.
Even if this ends up being the last Mariner hitter to hit today, see if he can end it strong. Get some quality contact.
First pitch to Anderson. Another nasty off-speed pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. He's been living there, and it's fared him very well. Not bringing anything inside, especially to these power hitters who, if they catch up, could send something over the wall. The 0-1. Just misses the outside corner. Dugout wanted it. They won't get it. 1-1 our count now. Anderson hovering that bat over his right shoulder, getting a little waggle going in the bows. The 1-1. Big cut and a miss. Dropped a changeup down inside, and Anderson way off balance with that swing, and the Mariners down to their final strike of the night. 1-2 set to come home. Here it is. Right down the middle, and the Gatemen shut out the Mariners at home. I don't know if it was a little jet lag from the ride to Fenway or what, but the Mariners did not have it tonight. Held to 3 hits and just limited action up and down the board. Second strikeout there for Jake Faraday, as we'll go right into our post-game show here. Just 6 hits for the Gatemen, but they were able to stretch across 4 runs, 3 for the Mariners, but nothing to show on the scoreboard. It was just an ugly ball game. The Mariners, in the last 5 innings, brought up the minimum. 3 batters in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th, and 3 in the 9th. Did not have a base runner throughout the back half of the ball game. Performance they'll want to forget. Arguably their worst offense of the season, and they don't have a run to show for it.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of an argument at all, quite frankly. 3 hits total, none of them for extra bases, 1 walk, and a whole lot of tenuous at-bats down the stretch. There were many opportunities. They had plenty of time to get back into the game, and I think this is something that they're going to have to bounce back from in a new way. They haven't really struggled this much this year, and a clear opportunity to improve against a team in Brewster that has struggled to prevent runs in general.
That will be the first of a home-and-home series between the Whitecaps and the Mariners tomorrow at Stony Brook Field for 5 p.m., and then they come to White House on the 4th of July for a 5 o'clock evening start time here at White House. Mark your calendars. Not the typical 6:31, but for the Mariners, they got to just turn the page. I mean, it was just a game they'll want to forget. The pitching wasn't terrible. DeSanto, a solid 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Olin Johnson kind of was baptized by fire. 1 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 3 earned. No walks and no punch-outs, but Bales and Benz are a lot to be happy about with those 2 guys. It just, unfortunately, when your offense is not putting up any runs and only has 3 hits, you're not going to win too many baseball games, and that's exactly what happened here tonight for the Mariners. One that they'll be really itching to forget, and a chance to bounce back against a Brewster team who's been subpar at best this season. So the next time the Mariners will visit the Wareham Gatemen will be on July the 14th. That will be here at White House, and then finally the season series ends on July the 26th out at Spillane Field one more time. But we'll walk you through the box score one last time. Wareham, 4 runs on 6 hits with no errors. Harwich, no runs on 3 hits with a pair of errors. The win being credited to Heath Andrews after his 1 inning of relief. Ryan DeSanto is credited with the loss, a game that lasted 2 hours and 30 minutes on a beautiful Tuesday night here at White House. That is all we will send you home with. So, on behalf of our entire production